Hi Leo and Leo Rising. Here is a general look at your solar chart for April 2015. The Sun is in a fellow fire sign. That's always great for boosting your energies, Leo, as a fire sign. And this month, this is a really good month to push forwards with the master plan, and for you to be decisive, for you to roll up your sleeves and take more seriously your goals and ambitions. Sort of get active, get with the program there, whatever it's about for you, and it might be more than one thing. So you tend to be putting physical effort into that, and perhaps also dealing with formalities or officials or people who are perhaps have an expertise, have a knowledge that you need in order for you to be able to join up the dots. So new potentials are definitely in the wind for you, Leo, and that's up until the 20th. The Sun is in a more outgoing, expansive area, which tends to raise the spirits, and you should really put yourself into sorts of environments which are outside of the routine box, where you're learning new things. Okay, and both the Sun and Mercury are there, and expanding your mind. Maybe you will be having to put your thinking cap on because you are being faced with material or input mentally, communications which are different, you're not used to. It's definitely a time to refresh your mental palette and to think in a more enterprising kind of a way. There is going to be a total lunar eclipse on the 4th, and this indicates change and improvement related to communications, to education, to speaking, writing, and other forms of self-expression over the months to come. So if you do one thing in the run-up to the eclipse moment, or even just write down a statement of intent, then that will unfold and unpack itself with you helping it along the way over the next several months. This is the third of 4 total eclipses. The first one happened last April, lunar eclipses, and you'll see that in the Americas, but you can look that up. And there may be a similarity with something going on now, or rather in April during this eclipse, as that there was going on in the previous April. There may be a similarity to what was going on in the previous April, or maybe there is a follow-on happening this April, or a rethinking, or whatever it is, you're revisiting something to do with last April. So watch out for that. Mercury moves on the 15th and then goes into the same area as the Sun. So they share the same area for a moment there, that means that very much you're as the Sun, that goes into the same area as the Sun will be from the 20th. Okay, sort of got my wires crossed there. Yeah. Mercury moves on the 15th and then is joined by the Sun on the 20th. So Mercury moves on the 15th and is joined by the Sun on the 20th. And then that means that even more you may be having to discuss with people in a more formal kind of a setting, or there could be paperwork to deal with, more paperwork to deal with perhaps. You are correspondence and sort of throwing ideas around, playing with ideas, are to do with schemes which could achieve certain goals, or just be, you know, smaller goals to get you to the master plan, sort of smaller steps along the way to get you to the master plan. Vehicles, travel and transport could also very much be on your mind. And now, up until the 12th, Venus is also in this area to do with officials or people in positions of power. Now, if it's Venus there, that can be people in a position to help you. Again, having good, cultivating, yes, but having a good sort of easy, sociable type interchange with those in a position of power is more likely. And when I say power, I just mean someone that's there who's got the knowledge, or who's got the thing you want to borrow, or that has got something that you need, and who is in, who is quite happy. Or in the mood, or you catch them at the right moment for them to sort of lend you a hand. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say about that. But it usually is a person in authority. It's not just, just any old body. It's somebody who's got a grasp on something that you don't have, and who's got the authority to kind of endorse it for you and to help you to move forwards, okay? So that's a good thing. Also, you yourself could be looked up to by another as the person who's got the authority, who's got the knowledge, who's got the thing that can help them. And that is you being, lending them a friendly hand and helping them up the ladder of success. But this is generally about the professional area. It's generally about your life direction and where you want to be going with your plans and plots and schemes and so on. So that's somebody there to help you up until the 12th. Then Venus moves from the 12th, and then that is more you connecting with others in a group context, or online, or with friends, or with just making links with useful people. Venus also rules money and other sort of useful resources. So it might mean that you tend to be supported financially a little bit more. You could be, if you play your cards right. Or maybe it's to do with other resources. Could even be property, it could be possessions, but you're connecting and maybe inquiring is part of this, and then making the connection because you find the right person. Also, networking and group gatherings and team efforts are all part of this area here that Venus goes on to. Venus is usually likes this area. She's sociable, she's friendly, she's helpful. So that could be coming to you, but also that might be going from you. So through friends, through your certain group connections, community connections, anything online, anything related to technology actually in this area here could be materially beneficial to you, but also they could others could see you as helping them out in that way, but generally it facilitates positive experiences. Okay, and then we have the sun moving on the 20th, like I mentioned earlier. So the sun moves and goes into the area where you're taking your goals more seriously. You're getting organized. You're getting sorted with with the direction you want things to go, and you're being more aware of the impression you're making on others. You want to package something in a good way, and you want to be more aware of how something is representing you. And you may have to be more aware of rules and regulations as well at that time. Saturn is in a very positive angle to your sun until June, and it can mean success if you take the long view and you just chip away at anything which is creative, anything which is to do with investment project, anything which is to do with performance, or to do with leisure type activities and hobbies. Maybe you're working hard at a hobby which could become the day job. You're just doing it in your spare time, but then it becomes the day job, like I did with astrology. I never set out to be a career astrologer. It was just a hobby. So and it took me many years before it's sort of the penny dropped that actually I could do this and actually get paid for it. Strange that, isn't it? So we can be doing something that we really, really enjoy for ages, and it just doesn't occur to us that, as a matter of fact, we could just make this like the main job that puts food on the table. So even though, you know, I've scaled right back, but you can sort of be working on something quite seriously, because Saturn likes to be serious. So Saturn in this area here means that you could be working on something seriously, but Saturn likes us to take the long view. Saturn likes us to sort of ploddingly and dogmatically go towards the goals, right? This area is also about children, so maybe you have to take on more responsibility for them for some reason. You Leos born the 25th to the 28th of July with 2 to 5 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this forecast period. And then with Jupiter in your sign up until August, this is a great time for you to be spreading your wings and taking off into new areas, different unfamiliar areas. Several several openings could occur, maybe come your way, and you've got to choose. Well, shall I go there, or shall I travel here, or shall I do this? Shall I do that? But you have to separate the wheat from the chaff and figure out how, prioritize, and you will discover much through those from different backgrounds, maybe different cultures, different expertise, or it might not be like that. It might be that this is your opportunity to reach for something that you've been waiting for, or you haven't been able to get around to before, and then that kind of changes the whole game for you. You Leos born the 4th to the 7th of August, or with 12 to 14 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most this forecast period. And just want to say that we do have Sun and Mercury going over Uranus and Pluto. That's between the 5th and the 8th, so that would be a time to keep a cool head and a calm, steady hand on the tiller, on the wheel, and might not be directly to you, might be, because this is on the other video I made, April 2015 in a nutshell. So it might be something that's just going on, and you're witnessing, you're hearing about things that are going on, but it's definitely a time to just keep cool and carry on, I suppose, but be flexible. Don't be, I did say dogmatic a minute ago, yeah, don't be too dogmatic. Be flexible and ready to experiment, or ready to make a change, make a concession perhaps as well, particularly in the second part of the first week and into the second week. If you know that you've got any cardinal sign planets or important points in your chart, if you know your natal chart, then this will make a little bit more sense to you perhaps, and that will be between that will be 14 to 18 degrees, so looking into your natal chart. And that's it for April. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. The bare bones of this is written up on my website if you want to check any dates, and I'll see you the next time.